Hello, and welcome to D&D Chats. My name is Mike, aka RPG Storycraft, and if you like our discussions and the map laps going on in the background, please consider leaving a like and possibly subscribing for more content. Today I wanted to talk about player creativity spontaneously during game sessions and how DMs react to that. Now, in a previous discussion, we had one thing where what is the difference between a good and great DM? And one of the comments that I had received is that players usually like to see backstory elements of their characters within the world, but some players don't, and it annoys them when they actually have to interact with their backstory. I rarely have seen this myself, but apparently it's more common than I believe, and that's okay. There's different aspects of being a great DM that can take place at the table itself, and a lot of that involves improvisation. And there's a lot of good resources out there for improving your improv skills. If you have the time, I highly recommend becoming part of an improv group practice. You don't necessarily have to go to the performances or anything like that, but just doing the practice helps you create ideas on the fly and make things better. And a good example of this is in one of my most recent games. One of my players completely made up a story element that fed things into the story arc rather well, actually, and so I decided to go on with it. And I created an entire new NPC that seemed fully fleshed out, and I hope that the long and short of it is that it seemed like that was planned from the very beginning. They couldn't tell that I was making that up on the fly. They couldn't tell that it was entirely improvised. And that really is another aspect of a great DM, is you can't tell when they're improvising, and you can't tell when it's already pre-planned. The players also have a big part of that as well. You need a good DM. You need a great DM. But you also need to be a great player when you're there. And part of that is having a good dynamic with your DM, knowing what they're capable of and knowing what they will accept and what they won't accept. And part of that is improvisation. And so a lot of DM advice and game prep advice will say you can prepare too much. And this aspect of the interaction between players and DMs is part of that. It is important to realize that the players need to be able to add in things on the fly during the session. And if you're not able to be flexible enough as a DM in order to do that, it can really kill any semblance of interactivity that the players are willing to give you. You have to remember that this is a collaborative storytelling effort. And if you as the DM or if you as the player aren't allowing any flexibility within the storytelling nature, then you are doing yourselves a disservice and you are bringing the rest of the table down, and you might not even realize you're doing it because it's not evident until you know that it's not there.